Hey guys, how are you? David DeFranco here from daviddefranco.com. Today's video is going to be a little different in a way because I've done video game hauls in the past, but that was with a different website. But just recently I came across LeapTrade.com, so I really hope to do this series on a monthly basis. So what is LeapTrade? Well, in basic terms, it's a video game trading community that allows gamers like you and myself to trade video games with one another, which I think is just really cool because this is basically your chance to get your hands on games, new and old, that you never really got around to playing to begin with, but you don't even have to pay full retail price. So that's already good in my book because I made this very clear in past videos. I love my video games. I'm not kidding when I say that. I love gaming. I've been gaming since I was just a little kid. Not really that small. That would be kind of impossible unless I was using a Game Boy Micro. Speaking of that, I never actually got my hands on a Game Boy Micro. Is that any good? Post right below. But anyway, getting back on track, I just love LeapTrade because it gives me the chance to play games that I never really got the chance to play in the past. Now, LeapTrade is really cool because they take 0% of the cut that you receive. So basically, if you're selling or trading a game for 50 bucks, you're gonna get 50 bucks in return. Not 49 bucks, not 48 bucks, 50 bucks. I'm talking like I own LeapTrade, but I just think it's a really cool concept. And even better, their currency is dollars. So you're not getting tricked or misled with some kind of special currency like coins, tickets, whatever. So in other words, if I sell a video game for $20, I get $20 in return. So I think that's really neat. And every single video game trade is tracked on their website. So if I, for instance, sell you Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS4 for 50 bucks, as soon as it leaves my house and as soon as it gets on that USPS truck, you can track it right there on LeapTrade's website. And now finally, and then I promise I will get into my gaming haul. This is just a one-time thing since LeapTrade is new to me and most likely new to you. LeapTrade does offer video games for new and old video game consoles. So it's not just about PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. So if you don't own any of those consoles, that's not a problem. LeapTrade has a ton of video games for all video game consoles. Well, at least most. And this includes the Game Gear. Yes, the Game Gear, and I do own a Game Gear. The Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, the N64, the Sega Dreamcast, the Sega Saturn, maybe. I'm not even sure about that one. But that's my point. LeapTrade has video games for a ton of consoles, so check them out. Okay, so let's get into this month's gaming haul. The first game I want to talk about is this Sly Cooper Collection for the PlayStation Vita. This has 3 full Sly Cooper games, which I just think is awesome. Now, to be fair, the first 2 Sly Cooper games, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, as well as Sly 2 Band of Thieves, are both included on the game cartridge, or game card, whatever you want to say. It's technically like a very tiny cartridge if you want to look at it that way. Now the third one you have to download, which isn't a big deal because we're kind of used to that nowadays. It's Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves. Now I believe I played the first Sly Cooper on the PS2. It was probably some kind of demo or trial or whatever. But I gotta be honest, I don't really remember playing it much because, well, it was only a demo at the time. And back then my attention span was... there's a squirrel in the tree. Sly Cooper Collection is really neat. I played the first one for probably a good hour or so on my plane ride back from Las Vegas to Philadelphia, and I enjoyed it. Now, to be fair, I was tired on the plane, so that's why I didn't put too much time into it. But I gotta say, the game was actually more challenging than I was expecting, and that's a good thing. I don't like when the video games are too easy, so props to the developers of Sly Cooper for making what seems to be so far a pretty cool game. And again, just like I said in the beginning of this video, this is why I love LeapTrade. It's giving me the chance to relive experiences that I never got the chance to live in the first place. So I guess that's not reliving. You guys know what I mean. Anyway, on to the second game. Let's talk about Lego Marvel Superheroes. Now, first of all, before I get into this game, let me just say one thing. Another reason why I love LeapTrade. I was originally buying this for the Xbox One. Now, the person trading me this on LeapTrade.com accidentally sent me the Xbox 360 version. I emailed the seller. He was just really apologetic, saying, dude, I'm so sorry. I accidentally listed this as the Xbox One version. And I was like, dude, that's fine. So I contacted LeapTrade support. They said, I'm so sorry about this inconvenience, and we will be giving you $5 credit for free for your troubles. Well, long story short, I ended up eventually keeping the 360 version, but LeapTrade still allowed me to keep that $5 credit bonus, which I thought was really cool. So anyway, getting into the game itself, I haven't really played it much because my 360 isn't currently hooked up in my living room, but it's because of this and eventually South Park: The Stick of Truth, which I did not get from LeapTrade, but I will look into that soon. I'm thinking of hooking up my Xbox 360 again in my living room. That's all I'm trying to say, because currently it's hooked up in my bedroom and I'm rarely in there. I mean, I spend most of my time in here, my office, as well as my living room. So I was thinking, why not hook up my 360 again? I've had a couple games that I've been meaning to play through, including Mirror's Edge, so I'm going to look into playing that again soon. So I am excited about playing this. Now, I've made it clear in past videos, I'm not a huge superhero fanatic, but I do like Spider-Man and Iron Man a lot, so I'm kind of excited to play this. So, getting to my next and final game for this month's LeapTrade haul. This is definitely a different one, and keep in mind, I got this for $5. $5. The price of a hoagie at Wawa, or as some of you like to call it, a sub. Wii Music. Yeah, I got Wii Music for the original Wii for $5. Now, buying this, I was like, I don't know, I might just play it once, but again, for $5, why not take the chance? They showed a demo of this during E3. I forget what year it was like E3 2008, 2009, 2010? I don't know. I just know it was a long time ago, and I know they were playing some kind of virtual instruments up on stage with the Wiimote, and I thought it was a pretty cool concept. Now again, I don't know if I'm going to play this twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever. But I will play it at least once, and no, I have not played it yet. But at least the Wii U does support the old Wii games, which I think is really cool. So I will be playing this soon. And I gotta say, the included manual is quite heavy. You're probably not gonna really see the thickness on video, but believe me, they included a lot of pages. Look at this. That's quite the book, and it's in full color, so props to Nintendo. I mean, I know it's 2014, 2015. Actually, this game came out a few years ago. But still, I just give props to these companies when they actually print in color. I don't know. This is just something that's important to me. Wii Music, I think, could be quite the interesting experience, and I will talk about it more in a future weekend vlog. So, there you have it. There is my LeapTrade haul for January of 2015. I think this is a great way to start off the new year. So, again, quick recap. Wii Music for the Wii. Sly Cooper Collection for the PS Vita, and last but not least, Lego Marvel Superheroes for the Xbox 360. These 3 games are just a great example of why I think LeapTrade is a pretty cool site. I mean, guys, let's be honest, if it wasn't for LeapTrade, I don't think I would have gotten at least these 2 games. Maybe eventually Sly Cooper because it's for a newer console, the PlayStation Vita, but definitely not Wii Music. I never, ever saw myself buying this. But come on, when I saw the $5 price tag, I figured, why not? So guys, if you want to use LeapTrade for yourself, definitely check out my link right below. And once you do sign up, if you share your unique referral link with others, and if anybody uses that link to make a trade, you get $5 for every trade. So just keep that in mind. That's a great way to get free credit towards future free video game trades. And well, at the end of the day, they're free video games, just as long as you can get enough credit. But still, even with that said, you're going to be trading video games at incredibly low prices, which I just think is awesome. So huge thanks to LeapTrade for making this possible. Full disclaimer, they are sponsoring this video. I'm sure that's obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway just in case. I don't want to mislead anyone. But as I've said this in the past, and I'm going to say it again, I only let sponsors on board if I actually support them. And I genuinely think LeapTrade is doing a great job. Oh, and hold up real quick. Post right below 2 or 3 games that you would like to see me get from LeapTrade for next month's video game haul, because I'm always looking to get old and new games into my video game collection. So guys, thanks again. You are awesome, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.